This video was produced by the UCD Maths Support Centre in conjunction with the UCD Access Centre. In this video, we're going to be talking about touching circles. So circles that are touching either externally or internally. If two circles are touching externally, like we have in this diagram here, where we have a circle with center C1 and radius R1, and another circle of center C2 and radius R2, if these two circles are touching externally, then what we can see from this picture is if we look at this line going from one center to the other, we can see that this is the distance between C1 and C2 from our coordinate geometry course, but what we can see is that if they touch externally, then this distance has to be equal to the sum of the two radii, so R1 plus R2. However, if two circles are touching internally, like they are here, we will have a circle with center C2 and radius R2, and a circle with radius R1 from center C1. And what we can see in that case is that if the two circles are touching internally, which means that one circle sits perfectly inside the other with only one point of contact, then the distance between the two centers, so this distance from here to here, is actually R2, the bigger radius, minus R1. Now if I had labeled this slightly differently, and I had instead, I had labeled the bigger radius R1 and the smaller radius R2, then I would have obviously R1 minus R2 in that case. Obviously I would have to change my two centers around as well. So you just have to be careful how you label them, but the main idea is that for external, the distance between the two centers is the sum of the two radii, but internally, the distance between the two centers is the difference between the radii. So there's a minus instead of a plus.